Hello everyone, and welcome to this video by Second Life Culture TV. There are so many public locations you can visit in Second Life, and nobody has been to all of them. Some are old, others are new. Some are beautiful to look at, others not so much. In this video, we're going to give 10 examples of places that are worth landmarking if you like to walk around in an environment that features a lot of good mesh, texture, and design work in general. This isn't a top 10 list, and these recommendations aren't intended for any specific interest, such as photography, role-playing, or gaming. This is simply a list of recommendations for people wanting to expand their list of landmarks to include more beautiful places to explore and enjoy in Second Life. Before we present this list, it's worth mentioning the destinations feature on your viewer. These locations are primarily based on the amount of traffic they attract, or their appeal to wider, more general audiences. Just because a sim appears in a destinations category doesn't mean it's the best looking sim you can find on Second Life, or the most artistic or most well designed. There are definitely some very good locations though, which we hope to review in future, but in this video we're going to show you some places that are less well traveled. These picks are in no particular order. Please check the video descriptions for the links that will allow you to visit them directly. First on our list is Serena Mantra, a French-themed country estate that offers cottages for rent. The whole sim is finely detailed and features thousands of carefully curated objects. As we load up our surroundings, we find pleasing textures and shapes as far as the eye can see. One great selling point of this location is that it feels very consistent in style. Everything included here is designed to tell a continuous story. This is a wonderful place to take photos or teleport your friends for a conversation in a quaint, tranquil setting. Next, we're going to Essentia Hotel. This is an establishment that really displays a lot of professionalism and prestige, while the visuals are modern and impressive. As we teleport in, we're automatically messaged by the robot staff members, which can become a bit incessant if you visit often, but it shows a dedication to service. As the name implies, this is a place where you can actually rent some very nice rooms by following the instructions shown on the wall nearby. Our favorite feature is the restaurant, which is very elegantly laid out for you and your date to visit for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Thirdly, we have a sim called The Divide, whose creators describe as a study of contrast and expression of duality. We enjoy loading up our avatar at the beginning of a path that takes us through a charming town, allowing us to peer into some of the rooms as we walk past. Although the lines of sight are quite short through most of this, you definitely get a sense of wanting to explore around the corners and become surprised by the level of detail found around every turn. If you enjoy the visuals of Asian culture, this one is definitely worth saving. Our next recommendation might not look like much, but we've included it mainly to show an example of a scenic sim that has been around for an extremely long time by Second Life standards. This is Sparta, where you can ride a giant wasp for a tour of this fantasy island. You can even bring a friend with you and take the automated journey as a duo. By reading nearby chat, we can follow a story that the creators have written for us about the Sparta history, which dates back to 2006. This tour also allows us to see what was possible within the limitations of early days SL. Now, here we are at Vasilich. This is an Italian-style town that has had an amazing amount of work put into it. The streets, shop fronts, and outdoor furniture are all designed and laid out in such a cohesive way, and with the right wind light settings activated, we can really get a sense of the mood that the developers intended. Most incredible of all is the enormous lifelike cathedral that occupies nearly a quarter of the main island. The proportions and colors make it feel very realistic, and you can easily imagine having your Second Life wedding in here. We're stopping by Forgotten Dreams next. We don't know much about this place, so if you've created it, please get in touch so that we can tell you how nice it looks. Browsing around the garden and then going indoors to admire the furniture and fireplace, it's easy to feel like we're in a scene from an old fantasy novel. As we zoom around the rest of the sim, though, it has the look of a rental island. We're not too clear on whether these homes are available for rent, but they are certainly enjoyable to look at. Another Italian-themed location is up next, and this one also features a restaurant. In contrast with the hotel, however, This one is open air and somewhat rustic. We're primarily including this pic for the restaurant itself, because as we zoom out to the road and the shops, the area becomes less interesting. It's still a great place to meet friends though, and once we're done with our meal, we can even load up some dance poses. Nearing the end of our list, we have the cave. Upon teleporting into the beach area, we see a very calming and scenic outdoors environment. But nearby, the intrigue of a cave entrance invites us to explore. As we venture through a tunnel lit only by burning torches, we find ourselves eventually arriving into what looks to be a cavern dance hall, which opens out onto the sea again, showing us yet another restaurant area. This time, the tables overlook the water, which is an especially nice touch. Lutz City brings us a very well-decorated stage area, and if you do visit at the right time, you might even be treated to some live music within Second Life. But even when you're the only one on the sim, it's a wonderful place to explore. Try viewing it on some of the other Winlight settings, as much of the scenery looks better with the palette of greens, browns, and reds cast by the sun position. Once out of the forest, the city with its canal and bridges is just gorgeous. Last on our list is Abraham Strupp, a sim that looks confusing at first, but we're rewarded as we take the time to examine the architecture of it. Starting out on a small boat shed, we're led into a curious underground room with plenty of glowing lights. But if we take the skyward approach, we'll find what looks like a cross between a fantasy castle and a Gothic cathedral. Inside its walls, there's a surprising amount of detail, and objects of a style we weren't expecting. This place is full of surprises, so don't overlook it if you prefer things that are out of the ordinary. Alright guys, that's the end of our recommended landmarks list. If you think we've missed any really amazing locations, be sure to leave us a comment. If this video helped you find an enjoyable sim to visit in Second Life, be sure to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel, as we're still new on YouTube. Also, if you're the owner of an incredible location on Second Life and would like to show us, please get in touch, as it might be possible to make that the focus of a future video. Bye for now.